He's a man who studies weather for a living, yet he found himself in the middle of one of the century's most destructive storms. Stan Goldenberg rode out Hurricane Andrew with his family, his home destroyed around him. Yet in the midst of all this terror, they experienced a miracle.
Everything hit what I call WBT, window breakage threshold.
A meteorologist for the Hurricane Research Division of NOAA, he was watching the approach of Hurricane Andrew from a hospital room, where his wife Barbara was in labor with their fourth child. Stan Goldenberg will never forget what happened 20 years ago. It was August 24th, 1992, and the city of Miami had not taken a direct hit from a hurricane in decades. And Stan Goldenberg, who studies hurricanes for a living, was right in the path of this Category 5 storm.
Because I'm already short-circuiting as a scientist. Any major hurricane out there, hitting land is the second thing. But as a father, the birth of my child, and then the fact this could actually come towards us.
But it was.
And we still have, waiting for the hurricane, beautiful skies, calm. You never know what was going to happen here in the next 12 to 14 hours or so.
Just hours before Andrew made landfall, little Pearl arrived safe and sound. But now Stan was worried about his three boys back home with relatives. He made the decision to leave the hospital and go home to ride out the storm.
Sunday, the 23rd of August, we have the family here. Looks like our TVs are out. Maybe the power is out now for the duration of this. In the hallway of the Goldenberg house, winds outside I think are at least 100, 110 miles an hour or more. Lord, we just thank you. We ask your protection.
The front picture window smashed in, and then the back sliding door smashed out. So the hurricane started roaring through the house. As soon as that eye wall hit about 4:30 in the morning, it was like, as bad as it was outside, it was already hurricane force, maybe even 100 miles an hour. It's like someone took a giant gearbox and just revved the whole thing up. The freight train sound that people describe with tornadoes, it was there, but it kept getting louder and louder. People have to realize we experience winds probably close to 200-mile-an-hour gusts.
You can start to hear the roar outside.
As the eye passed, they rushed to a neighbor's house, and the back half of the storm passed at daylight.
But our house, which had wood shutters, the roof lifted off, and as you can see, we have no house. This is the wall, fell on top of us, stove down there, cabinets, all fell on top of us, and that small space you're looking at, the mattress and everything, that's where we were pinned and protected during the worst part of the storm.
Back in the hospital, Stan's wife Barbara saw the damage on TV and thought no one could have survived. But they were reunited several days later and began to rebuild their lives.
Well, picture 100 tornadoes hitting the city. The devastation was so vast. We figure about 200 square miles was the devastation area.
A meteorologist, a father, a survivor, Stan Goldenberg, linked forever
Just we're glad to be alive.
to Hurricane Andrew.